You're not lazy, you're distracted. And if you don't want to deal with that, you'll keep calling yourself lazy while your life continues to go nowhere. Because it's easier to say, I just need more discipline than it is to admit that your attention is being pulled in 100 different directions. So in this video, I'm going to show you what's actually been stealing your focus and how to take it back. Because it isn't just about getting more done, it's about where your life is going. Now, there was a time when I kept telling myself I needed to lock in. I thought I lacked discipline. I thought I needed more motivation. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't struggling to act. I was constantly distracted. I pick up my phone without even thinking about it. I start to scroll when I knew I had something to do. I sit there thinking about everything and still not moving on anything. And what made it worse was that I knew better. I knew what I should be doing. I just wasn't doing it. And over time, that starts to mess with you because it's not just about productivity, it's about trust. You stop trusting yourself. And when that hit me, I realized I'm not lazy, I'm distracted. And once I saw that clearly, everything started to make sense because your attention is your direction. What you give your focus to, you give your life to. So if your attention is scattered, your life will be too. And if you don't take control of it, something else will. All right. So let's break this down because distraction doesn't always look obvious. And most of the time, it shows up in ways that you've gotten used to. The first one is digital distraction, your phone, social media, constant noise. It's subtle because it feels normal. You wake up and you check your phone. You have a free moment and you scroll. You go to bed and you scroll again. And before you realize it, your mind is constantly being fed, but never being focused. And the more you feed that, the harder it becomes to sit still, the harder it becomes to think clearly, and the harder it becomes to do what actually matters. So now, even when you want to focus, you can't because you've trained your mind to crave distractions. So here's what you do. You create boundaries. You don't reach for your phone first thing in the morning, and you don't end your day lost in it either. And you start being intentional about what you allow in, because what you consume doesn't just entertain you, it shapes you. The second one is mental distraction. This is one that most people miss. You're always thinking, but rarely deciding. You've got ideas, you've got plans, you've got things you want to do, but you stay in your head. And it feels productive because you're thinking about it. But thinking without action is just another form of delay. So now you're busy, but nothing is actually moving. And over time, that creates frustration because you know you're capable, but you're not seeing progress. So here's the shift. You stop trying to figure everything out and you start moving on what you already know. You pick one thing and you do it, not perfectly, but consistently, because clarity doesn't come from thinking more, it comes from moving forward. The third one is emotional distraction. And this is where a lot of men get stuck because now your feelings are leading your actions. You don't feel like it, so you don't do it. You're tired, so you stop. You're uncomfortable, so you avoid it. And it feels justified in the moment, but over time it keeps you stuck because your feelings change every day. So if your actions are based on how you feel, your life will always be inconsistent. So instead of asking, what do I feel like doing? You start asking, what's right to do right now? And you move on that because discipline grows when you choose truth over comfort. The fourth one is spiritual distraction. And this one goes deeper than all the others because it's not just about what you're doing, it's about what you're ignoring. You already know what you should be doing. There are things that God has been putting on your heart. There are areas he's been calling you to tighten up, and there are habits he's been dealing with you about. And you feel it. You feel that nudge, that conviction, that quiet check in your spirit. But instead of moving on it, you delay it. And the more you delay it, the easier it becomes to ignore. So now it's not about God speaking, it's that you've gotten used to not responding. And that creates distance, not because he moved, but it's simply because you stopped listening. So here's what you do: you create space for him again. You slow down, you get still, you remove the noise, and you sit with God without rushing, not just to say something, but to actually listen. And when he brings something to your attention, you move on it. Not later, not when it's convenient, but when you know it's right. Because clarity grows when you respond to him, and alignment comes through obedience. So let's break this all down. You're not lazy. You're distracted digitally, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And once you see that clearly, you stop attacking the wrong problem, because this isn't about trying harder. It's about removing what's pulling you away. It's about taking back your attention so that you can take back your direction. And if you're serious about building this kind of focus, I go deeper into this in the King's Forge newsletter. It's in this newsletter where we build structure, discipline, and alignment with God in a real practical way. It's on a hiatus right now, but in about 2 weeks, I'll be starting these issues back up again. And you can find it in the description below. Listen, most men won't fix this. They'll stay distracted and call it normal. But if you take control of your attention, you take control of your life. So if this helped you, I want you to subscribe to this channel. This is the King's Forge. We're building focused, disciplined, and grounded men here. And I want you to check the description as well, because I've got some tools down there that will help you get started right away. Now, the question is, what's been distracting you, and are you ready to cut it off?